So this guy, Korey, the Dove, who's part of a band, was part of a band called De La Soul. You might have heard of him. Just died at the age of 54. David Jude.
Wow.
What is this? Jolicoeu. That's a funny thing. I never knew his name. Never knew his name.
Plug, whatever plug he was, and Korey. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's all you knew him as. What did he die of? I didn't see what he passed from.
I was going to ask you the same thing. What it is that he died of? I do not know.
Me neither.
But
chat, you guys know?
Yeah, he was 54, man. And it was funny because I just saw him when he was in Austin, and he was performing with Gorillaz. They brought him and Plug One out, and because they brought him out for Feel Good Inc. If you don't, in Feel Good Inc. Everybody knows that Gorillaz song. It was a big hit for them. But at the beginning of the video, you see De La Soul. And it's a big iconic part of the video where there, starts out with one of the members of De La Soul, Maceo, laughing. That is not Korey though. That is, as I said, Maceo. That is yeah, man. But the rest, when the rest of De La Soul can be seen later on in the video, and I think this is the first time they collaborated with De La Soul, and it blew my mind because I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. But I'm also, and I never mentioned this to anybody, I absolutely love De La Soul, man. De La Soul blew my mind in high school when they first premiered. So to have these two get together and for Gorillaz to pick them up to collaborate with, that was a dream come true for me. And you can see Korey rapping right there, man. Man, but you know what? When I remember them in high school, and it's crazy because there's a lot of hip hop people from my time growing up with hip hop that are passing, man. There was that, I think it was 2021 that just lost a lot of rappers, man, from the early, anyway from the late 80s to the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
That golden age, that era, yeah.
Yeah, man. But do you remember their first big hit?
It was the Potholes in My Lawn, or was it? No, it was Me, Myself, and I.
Yeah. It was Me, Myself, and I, man. Had that George Clinton Parliament sample on there.
Yes, a couple of guys from my junior high school in that video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was around the way. Queen.
DJ for Sonic and the producer of this particular group. And now off of that and on to the soul. De La, that is.
Yeah, I remember this video came out, and these guys were, the cool thing with these guys is that they were very different. And the moment you saw it, you knew why. It's just me, myself, and I. Man, so what was cool about these guys, now keep in mind, this is after gangster rap was out there, and NWA and everything. This is it's when hip hop was going hard. What was cool about these guys is that they came out and they were like nerds and hippies, man.
Yeah.
And there is no way that these dudes or anybody would have thought that they would have blew up the way they did. I mean, and for all intents and purposes, these dudes should not have made it like they did, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. But it's funny because they were the anti-hip hop guys. Instead of the chains, they had the medallions, the Black Power medallions, and the Africa medallions on. And when they came out, it was like a crew of them. You know what I mean? Because they kind of started this whole movement. This conscious movement.
It was the
native tongues.
The native tongues. It was them and Tribe Called Quest and
Jungle Brothers.
And that dude that shot somebody and went to jail. The girls look so good, but the brains are not.
Oh yeah, got the name of my dude. I forgot who that was. But had Moni Love was part of that, and Queen Latifah was in that whole thing. So that was like a whole movement right there.
Yeah, Chi Ali is the guy's name.
Ali, right?
Yeah, and these guys, man, and I tell you what, the reason why they probably made it like they did, because their production was amazing. Because
Right.
even today, man, up until like they had longevity, they still around. I guess not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you got one of them that just
Right.
died, but
Right.
but like they were actually trying to cause beef with other people. Like when they're on the road, they actually fought. They started
Right.
shit. They
Right.
weren't soft, but their image was
Right.
not jiving with everything, and they were always calling out other hip hop people. They were always calling out hip hop for the images that you just see all the time, all the ass shaking and all the jewelry, all the violence and guns and shit. The bitches and all. There was they were calling all that out up until this day. They were starting shit with Drake and everything, man, if they could.
They going off.
Yeah, one of them called out Biggie.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, that's why I love this era of hip hop because this type of stuff was mainstream. This was stuff that you saw. You didn't have to look too hard to find this stuff. You know what I mean? It was there. I know there's still a lot of underground people who are still doing this type of hip hop, if you can find them. But these guys are actually being pushed. You know what I mean? These guys had videos. They had money behind them. They were out there doing shows. You know what I mean? And making a lot of noise in this industry for a little while. And to see all of that just kind of disappear now. Like I said, it's still out there, but you got to kind of look for it. You got your Kendricks and stuff like that. But this was a whole movement here. People we named part of that whole native tongue thing, and they were all found some sort of success. The Tribe Called Quest, Moni Love, They all found some sort of success. Brand Nubians. That whole movement was fantastic, son. The fact that you had a song called Self-Destruction. Come on, man. You had like all the Avengers of hip hop coming together singing about one cause. You're not going. I'm not sure if you're going to see that again, man.
No, and you know what? And De La Soul was actually, they made a big comeback. I mean, they were never gone, but a lot of people recognize them from when they had their music featured in a Marvel movie, man. You remember this? Mm-hmm. They had at the end of No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, they had that song 3 is the Magic Number.
Oh, right. Yes.
And the music breaking 3. And that song right there is an example of why they were so big. One of the reasons why they were so accepted and they left such a huge impact on the history of hip hop is because their sampling was amazing, man. The production in there, even their big album was called 3 Feet High and Rising. That was their big debut album right there. But they had other albums that did some amazing sampling. If you listen to 3 Feet High and Rising, 3 Feet High and Rising is about to have its big, I guess, debut on streaming because you couldn't get it before because of the sampling. But it's a great album. If y'all are into hip hop, are you just into good music? Check out 3 Feet High and Rising, man. I mean, 3 Feet High and Rising is an amazing album, and it couldn't be featured on streaming because it sampled so much, and I guess they couldn't clear all the sampling. That's the album right there. And as you can see, it had the whole Daisy Age motif, the hippie motif right there.
Yep.
But now in March, I don't know when in March, it's going to finally be able to be heard on streaming. So if you can, go check it out.